All right, friends, here we are, the finale of Shooting for the Stars. So tonight we're going to go ahead, we're going to wrap it all up in a nice, pretty bow. Everything that we've been working on over the course of these this is technically the 7th week, right? So the last 6 weeks, um, everything that we've been hearing and learning and working through. If you've missed parts of it, don't worry. Just know that you can go back in the group. I know that the recordings are not all there, but the workbook and the pages there will definitely help to guide you. So don't feel like if you missed out that you're not getting the whole thing. You can always go back. There is always that opportunity. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this over. And I'm going to pull up my notes so we can just jump right in. So week 7 is setting our plan into action. We're taking everything, like I said, that we've been doing, and we are going to put it all together. It's like the last pieces of the puzzle are going to all fit into place tonight. If you have your notes from previous weeks, that will be helpful. If not, again, that's okay. Like Ray, he's in a different location. He may not have everything, but he can always go back and go through everything. So we have talked about a lot of different topics over the last 6 weeks, right? We have kind of taken it for a full and complete ride, I would say. We've talked about discovering a business mindset, and really what our business really looks like here in the world of Scentsy, right? So understanding the business model. We've gone through coaching calls and what those are like and what to expect. We've talked about sales. We've talked about recruiting and sponsoring. And then last week, we got our introduction into leadership. So hopefully you guys have had some time to kind of go over at least little pieces of all of that over these weeks. And tonight, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to take everything, we're going to put it in a business plan that is going to help you to go forward in your business. And we're also going to look at a scalable system and create a roadmap for where we're going. So that's kind of where we're going to end up tonight. So as we follow along in the workbook, again, thank you for my friends, phoning friends today for the help on getting that out. Number 1, so setting your plan into action is you need a plan for your sales. Like I said, we did already discuss sales, and we have talked about ways in order to boost that PRV, to increase that PRV. As we talked about leadership, right? We talked about our personal business as a leader, right? We can't just not show up all month and expect that this business is going to run itself, that our team is going to automatically just do all the amazing things. And we're going to be able to sponsor new people without doing all of the things, right? We have to have a plan for what we're going to be doing. And we have to know that in order to be paid as a leader and to start making that leadership money, right, we have to at least have a minimum of 500 every single month. And so having that plan for your sales I know it's listed as number 1, but for me, it is number 1 in my business. As I've grown my business over the years, I have a group of a little under 400, I think, currently. And I will tell you that I don't get to talk to everybody every single month. But what I will tell you is that I am actively working with those who have a business mindset. Okay. So really working with those people who are in this to really work it. For a lot of my team, sometimes they aren't necessarily focused on a business income at the moment. Life may be getting in the way. That's the beauty of this business, right? We get to kind of hang back, come back to it when we need to. We can adjust our sales. We can reset our course. But when it comes to your personal business, even if life does throw you a curveball, which it will, okay, we all know that, we're realists, right? We still have to have a plan for what we're doing every single month. Because again, if we just lay our business down over here to the side, it's going to be a lot heavier to pick that business back up. So we have to remember that we can utilize things to keep our business going. So I'm going to touch on that tonight. So you need a plan for your sales. Where are those sales coming from? You also, for number 2, you need a plan for your recruiting and or sponsoring. I don't know what it is. I do not like the word recruiting. I try not to use the word recruiting because I don't necessarily like it. Because to me, when I think of recruiting, I'm thinking of like it's just numbers. We all know it is not just numbers, right? We are building relationships with our team members, with the people that we're sponsoring. We are really talking to people more on a opportunity level rather than a join my team level, right? We're trying to really make that distinction with our business. So having a plan for that sponsoring or that recruiting piece is going to be key, because as we've talked about, especially during the week of sponsoring that we discussed it, right? We need to be making sure that we are constantly building that wide front line. So we have to make sure that that piece of our business is there at all times. Number 3, you need a plan for your leadership. Again, right? We just talked about making sure that you have to have a minimum of at least 500 in your personal PRV in order to at least even be able to be paid at title, right? As a leader, that's what we have to do. So having a plan for your leadership and how you're going to lead from the front. When I started leading from the front and leading by example, that is when my team started to see really what was happening in the business, what was possible with the business. I have always been very upfront and honest with my team, and even on my YouTube, right, of my struggles of I am not the greatest or the top salesperson. I am not the top sponsoring person, but every single month I am working to beat myself from the previous month. And so if I keep that in mind, if you can remember the phrase, the grass is greener where you water it, right? So if you're watering your own grass, if you are paying attention to your business, if you're paying attention to your team, if you are paying attention to those opportunities for sponsoring new team members, your grass is going to be very green. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, just like I never get to have that beautiful lawn except for like the first day after I mow it, right? I have to continue to mow the lawn. I have to continue to trim the weeds. I have to get the weed whacker out, and I have to take care of business, right? Because otherwise it just looks all crazy. We have to take that same approach to our business. And so when you lead from the front as a leader, those are the things that you really want to keep in mind, right? That it is being constantly in motion in this business. That is what is going to get you the farthest. So we talk about setting like a 90-day goal. So I want you to really, after this, I want you guys to sit down and think about, or later this week, think about those 3 things. And you're going to take those 3 focus steps and you are going to create a 90-day goal for you and your business. All right, so 90 days, that's 3 months, right? So that would be, that's July, August, September, October. So we're looking at about what? Towards the end of October, right? So let's say by November, where do you want your business to be? What do you want your business to look like? How many people are on your team? What are your sales? What is your follow-up system? What are the things that are starting to happen in your business? And what are the things that maybe are not working in your business that you want to focus on more? So really being able to put that 90-day goal into action, having that 90-day cycle is something that as you continue through your business, if you just keep cycling through, again, these 3 things, right? PRV, sponsoring, and leadership, that cycle continues all throughout your business, right? So I personally like to do a 90-day audit on my business and my personal business, right? So how are things going? So I ask myself pretty much these specific questions. Where are my sales? What is my group wholesale volume? What does it look like in my follow-up? What does it look like in my business? All of these things, right? So again, if you keep that on a repeat cycle, you are going to find that you're going to continue to grow as a leader. You're going to continue to grow your business. All of those things are going to start blossoming as you continue moving forward. So you want to begin to set those goals. So when you have those goals, let's say, and I'm going to give you an example here, right? Just so you have something to go on. So for number one, you need to plan for your sales. Maybe your personal goal is to hit 500 in a month. Okay. You're looking to hit 500. How are we going to get there? All right. So my 90-day goal around that would be, I am going to book 2 to 3 parties a month to ensure I have a minimum of 500 PRV. That's an actionable plan, right? I'm making it a SMART goal, right? So I'm making it specific. I'm saying I'm going to book 2 to 3 parties every month in order to get that, right? So that means I'm going to have to do some work there. I'm making it measurable. I'm giving myself that 90-day timeline, right? I'm also maybe making it measurable too and saying in a month, right? I'm not going to book 3 parties in the next 6 months. I'm going to book 2 to 3 parties this month or next month, right? That's what you're going to focus on, and making it time-based. All right, because that's really going to give you something to work towards, to push towards. So you're going to take that example for number 1, number 2, and number 3, and that is going to be your 90-day goal. The quote that was shared with us was, "The day we plant the seeds is not the day we eat the fruits." So true. I personally think that the more that you water your grass, the more that you focus on yourself and your business and those goals, the higher the percentage is that you are actually going to reach those goals. It's just proven that the more that you focus on, that is what you are going to bring forward, okay? So setting this plan into action even further. So we're going to break this down into nuggets here, and we've kind of done that, right? So I've given you that first example with the PRV. So this next worksheet will kind of help you to set those up. I believe this is page 35 in the workbook. Yes, 35. So you're going to be able to kind of bullet point those things out. Again, make them SMART goals: specific, measurable, actionable, time-based, right? You're going to give yourself things to do to get to those goals. Your goals may look completely different than mine. They don't have to look like mine. They don't have to look like your sponsor. They don't have to look like what your accountability partner is doing. It can look completely different, because every single one of us has a different goal in this business, I guarantee you. Are we all here to make money and have a successful business? Of course. But when we really focus in and say, what do you do this business for? What is your why? What is the reasoning that you continue to do this, right? That's when you're going to get more of that specific piece of the puzzle. Setting your plan into action, they do give us a brainstorming action for our business, or brainstorming sheet to do some actions for our business. And then we're going to be able to start to schedule that out. I really love page 37. It is the actual planning page, right? So if you're not following along in the workbook, basically it's giving you little squares, one for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every single day of the week. This is what is called a scalable system. This is what has gotten me and my business to where I am today. I don't know how many years ago, but I know I've got a YouTube video out there when I first really came to the realization of, I need to scale my business. I wanted to grow. I was ready to promote to director. I was really trying to work towards that next goal in my business, that next level of my business, right? And so I really had to drill down and decide, how am I going to do this? That was my Alexa. I have no idea what that sound was. I don't even know. So I had to really figure this out. And I have found myself in just the last 6 months of literally revisiting this exact scalable system because it worked for me to get me to director. It worked to get me to star director. And I am a star director who is working on superstar director. So I am putting this into practice myself. I work full time on Scentsy. Scentsy is my full-time job. I also have a full-time job in an operating room at a local hospital. It is very busy. It is very chaotic. I don't have, even when I get a lunch break, sometimes it's not really a lunch break. Okay, anybody else feel that pain? All right, so my days from 7:30 in the morning until about 5 o'clock at night are filled with hospital, and I've got that hat on. Now, I do have some chances during the day to maybe check emails, check messages like today. Hello, we had our Harry Potter lunch. You can trust me that Jacqui took a bathroom break when that was going live, right? You just kind of have to do what you have to do, right? With what circumstances you have. But having a scalable system is going to help you grow your business further. So this is what I did years ago. I started off by giving a theme to every day of the week. That was how my brain worked, right? Like I said, I worked full-time before when I was making it to director. I had a 3-year hiatus where I just did Scentsy full-time. That was it. I didn't work outside of the home. But I will tell you that even then, I stuck to the same system because I would find myself getting lazy in my business. Has anybody else gotten lazy in their business before? I've gotten lazy in my business lots of times. Okay. It's easy to do, right? It's really easy to say, you know what? I just don't feel like it today, or I'm not feeling well, or the kids are just driving me crazy, or it's just been a crazy week. I just need to shut everything off. I'm going to turn on Netflix. I'm going to watch Quarterback. If you haven't watched that series on Netflix, hello. I watched that over the weekend. If you're a Chiefs fan, then you have to watch it. Sometimes we have to do those things, but we have to be able to come back to our business. And this is why this system works so well. So giving a theme to each day of the week. I sometimes may only have 2 hours a day, maybe in pieces, that I can actually dedicate to my business. Can you work your business in 2 hours a day? Maybe. Yeah, I can tell you that I can because I do it, right? But I need to make sure that I'm getting as much out of the time that I have for my business that I possibly can. There's no way that I can sit here and focus on sales and sponsoring and recruiting and everything every single day and get it all done. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm just going to tell you right here, right now. It's just not possible. So I found by giving a theme to every day of my week was manageable. That was a bite-sized chunk of my business that no matter if I only had 20 minutes a day to work my business because it was crazy or there were other things going on or I had commitments to do, or if I had, maybe it's a Saturday and I've got all day long, I've got nowhere to go and I'll have errands to run. Oh my gosh, I get to work my business all day long. Didn't matter. I had a focus for every single day of the week. So my current focus is this. Mondays are personal development days. So again, regardless, I don't care if you've got 20 minutes a day. I don't care if you've got 20 hours in a day to work your business. Focus on bite-sized pieces. Give a theme to every day of your week. So my Monday is personal development. For one, I'm here in this program. For two, I will at least watch one training video. So whether that's just me going on YouTube, finding my favorite people that I love to watch, or maybe I've missed a training from earlier in the week, that happens. I know it happens to me a lot. Does it happen to you guys too? Okay, we can catch up on those things. So personal development is all about that, or maybe it's reading a chapter or two in one of my books that I have. I've got like 4 books over here that I've like gotten halfway through, right? That may be what it looks like for you. Maybe it's listening to a podcast, whatever it is. Being able to fill your own cup is what is going to get you further, right? We've learned that, and you guys have probably heard that from hundreds of people over the time of Scentsy, but you cannot pour from the empty cup, right? So in order to be the best leader you can be and lead from the front, in order to be the best consultant you can be for your customers, in order to be the best sponsor you can be for those new team members that you're trying to talk to or have conversations with, you have to pour into yourself. You have to know what's going on in the business, right? You have to know what products are launching this week or this month. What are the LTOs? What's the host special? What's the join special? All of those things, right? We need to know those things. So pick a day that you can pour into you and get yourself caught up on your personal business or your personal development. Tuesdays for me are all about team day. It is team day. I do team shout outs. I run my leadership reports. So look for things like that that you can do for your team, right? Again, some days, some Tuesdays, I don't have a whole lot of time. Other Tuesdays, I got extra time. So I just spend extra time doing those things. Wednesdays for me are all about working. We have a little fun working on a Wednesday that we do where a handful of us get together and we just kind of get on a Zoom and we literally are working. I make it a point, right? I'm not just sitting there just aimlessly looking at my screen. I'm actually finding something to do. So I make it a point. Sometimes it's printing out flyers. Sometimes it's making samples. Sometimes it's writing out thank you cards. It depends on what's going on that week. But that is my working day, okay? I have a working day every single week. Thursday is, for me, it's all about social media. So that is when I am scheduling out my posts. I work all day long. Do you think I have the ability to be on Facebook all day long? No. Not only that, I really wouldn't want to be anyway. But I can make it look like I am and I can still interact, right? So I can schedule posts out. So Thursdays are also, I've kind of timed this in the same way because Thursday is usually the day that Scentsy has kind of gotten us into a little rhythm of that's when they're going to drop the hints for what's coming next week, right? So that gives me things that I know I can post about, right? So I can start to schedule those posts. So we can do that for free on Facebook, okay? So you don't have to buy any fancy app or program to do this. You can do it. You can do the same thing on Instagram for free, okay? You can do it with Reels as well. I do my Reels that way. I actually schedule Reels for free, okay? You can buy all the fancy apps. You can do all the fun things. That's great. But if you can do it for free, that's even better, okay? So that's when I really focus in on that social media. And then the other piece of that social media is responding. We still have to be social with social media, right? So when you are scheduling those posts or when you're looking at your social media, you're looking at the messages, right? Respond back, reply back. I have taken time to go through my Facebook and done like where whoever my customers are, I've made them my favorites on Facebook, right? So that way they will pop up in my feed first before all the other thousands of Scentsy consultants who are my friends are on my Facebook, right? Because while I want to totally interact with all of my Scentsy consultant friends, I know that I don't have all day to do that. I have a small amount of time and I need to be intentional with that time. So I want to see my customers. I'm trying to build relationships with them, right? So I'm trying to look for how can I comment, oh my gosh, they just got married. Oh, I need to give a congratulations or send them a private message. I'm so happy for you. Your pictures look amazing, right? Whatever it is. Then on Fridays, it is my follow-up Friday. That is when I do all of my follow-ups. I will take the time, I will sit down. I have a binder system that I actually use. I'm happy to share it, but I have my binder system. So that's how I do my follow-ups. I've just literally gone back to basics this year with working and everything else. I just have to be at basics. So that's where I am. But take whatever you're using for your follow-up and plug that into a day. Saturday is when I kind of do a refresh on everything. I look to see I use Jotform I use the Jotform app feature. That is my link in bio. Okay, so if you guys use Linktree or the Milkshake app, which is free as well, if you've never tried that, that's a really great one. That's free. I used that for a long time. Now I use Jotform because I pay for it and I might as well use it, right? So find a way that you can get that. And then, so what I do is I go through and I just make sure that all my links are current, right? I like to go through, and if I've uploaded an unboxing video or something, I want to make sure that that's updated in my link in bio. So wherever it is that I'm sharing that info. That's kind of my reset day. I like to also, because usually I'm running errands on Saturdays, so I've at least kind of made myself up. And so I will usually try and take like 1 or 2 quick pictures. So I have those pictures to be able to utilize in my Canva or my social media, whatever it is that I'm doing, right? I do the same thing with products around the house, because that's usually a day when I'm cleaning as well. And so when I'm cleaning, when I'm changing out my air purifier, when I'm changing out that filter, when I am changing the wax, right? I'm taking pictures of all of those things, or I'm creating a quick reel to be able to have that for next week. Take those opportunities while you can. So that's kind of my reset day. And then Sunday is my planning day. I work all week long. Saturday and Sunday are my 2 official days off from the second full-time job. So I like to have that day as more of a relaxation day, a more Jacqui day. But while I'm doing that, I'm also planning for the week ahead. So I usually have a notebook, but I also have my iPad and I do my planning that way. So I'm digital, but I also write a lot of stuff down. Okay, again, it's all about basics and it's about what works for you. So if digital works, great. There's plenty of resources. If writing it down in a notebook works, do it that way. If Post-it notes are your thing, do it that way and cover the wall every week. Whatever it is that is your thing, use that thing. So on Sundays, I make a plan for the week, right? I know that I'm going to be doing social media, or I know that like this week it was the Harry Potter launch today, right? So I really planned out what I was going to do and how I was going to be intentional with my scalable system. That is how every single week I'm able to touch all of those pieces of my business, my personal sales, my sponsoring, and my recruiting, or sponsoring and my leadership piece, right? All of those things are there all together. So again, even if I only have 10 minutes a day, those 10 minutes a day, I know, okay, today is Wednesday. So 10 minutes, I've got 10 minutes to work. What can I do? Oh, I need to print out some more flyers for my thank you notes that I'm going to be sending on Friday. Let me just go ahead and print those out of Canva or redo them, whatever, and get them printed out. Done. If you've got more time, do more time, but it helps you to focus on what you have going on in your business. All right, so setting your plan into action. On the workbook, it really talks about notes. I just referenced my notebook. I'm huge about notes. Every time that I am on a training call, I am always writing notes down. Anytime that I am on even a collab meeting or something like that, I always have my notebook handy. I'm always jotting things down because you never know when something's going to happen. Another thing, and if you guys are anything like me, whenever I'm trying to go to sleep at the end of the night, sometimes my brain does not want to shut off. And I'm not lying when I say sometimes I have the best ideas for maybe a reel or a post, or I'm like, oh, how genius that I can talk about my air purifier if I talked about it like blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, I am the most creative person in the world. I don't know why. And so what I do, my phone is there, right? Because it's my alarm clock too, right? So my phone is there on my nightstand. I actually will either type out, if I'm awake enough, I will actually type it out on my notes feature on my phone, or this is my quick and easy way. I just do a short little voice message to myself. And I am not even lying when I say that my best ideas sometimes come at that part of the day. And it's because I've shut down from work. I've shut down from my Scentsy business. I've shut down from being mom and wife and cleaning the house and all the things. And my brain can relax. And suddenly, oh yeah, I was going to do those follow-ups there. Oh yeah, I was going to message so-and-so. And oh yeah, I'm going to change the wax tomorrow. I need to remember that I need to put a post out about that. That's when I take my notes. I don't know why, but that's like a really creative part of my day. And I used to just be like, oh, I'll remember that tomorrow. 0 out of 5 stars. Do not recommend. That never works. Never works. So if those are little quick and easy ways that can help you, maybe you find creativity all throughout the day. So if you're busy, if you're at work, if you've got other things, use those times. Use your phone. I tease my husband all the time. I'm like, your phone is a smartphone. Just let it be smart. Lean into your phone. It will do anything you want it to do, right? Even for you Android people. I'm an Apple person, but I'm sure that on the droids, you have ways of doing this too, okay? So again, lean into the things that you're able to do, lean into the things that work for you. Because again, what works for somebody else may not work for you. Maybe everybody you know is using Canva and you're like, I cannot get the Canva thing down. It's not clicking for me. There are other programs to use. Find another program that's going to work for you. Or just wait until somebody makes one and then kind of customize it on your own, however you need to do that. You don't have to always be the one making all of the things. From someone who has a very hard time in doing that, I will tell you that again, when you are really being intentional with your time and focusing and watering your own grass, you can let go and say, I don't need to recreate the wheel. I'm just going to take what somebody else has made. I'm going to maybe tweak it a little bit to make it me, and then I'm going to roll with it. If I want to recreate this wheel down the road later, that's on my big fat projects list. I got a whole section in my notebook of big fat projects. That's what it is, right? Those are those big things that I'm like, yes, I would love to sit down and create like this whole little manual for my team members. I'd love to be able to do that, right? Okay, that's on my big fat projects list. And maybe there are some days during the week, or maybe you have extra time, that you can spend some time on those big fat projects so you can go back to those things. Because in the middle of running your business, in the middle of a crazy week, at the beginning of a week that's crazy, okay, it's Monday, at the beginning of a crazy week, I know that I'm going to touch my business and every piece of my business all week long, no matter how crazy this week gets, no matter how much I want to pull my hair out at the end of every day. I know where I'm going to be focusing my attention. I know where I'm going to be watering my grass. Focus on what you can control and focus and be intentional with your time. Time is the one thing that we cannot get back, friends. Those of you with kids and those of you with grandkids and family members, we all know this lesson all too well, right? All of a sudden we blink and the kids are older, or all of a sudden we blink and that loved one is no longer there. We all have those moments. And so it's very easy to get lost in the chaos of not just a week or a month, but maybe a few months. But if you know where you are focusing, you can jump back in at any time. You can't get the time back, but you can make the time that you have count. Make the time around your schedule, right? We work Scentsy into our lives. That's what we do. It is not Scentsy and then we insert ourselves into how it works. It is our lives and how can we sprinkle Scentsy into it. Like I said, some days I may only have 20, 30 minutes. Other days I may have longer. Some days you want to go play with the kids at the park. Go do that. Have your moments, because again, that's going to help you fill your cup, right? Because if you are not filling yourself, you are going to find yourself in a very, very low spot. And I can tell you this from experience over the years. I have found myself getting down on myself in my business as a leader, just as doing business, right? With like, oh, I can't believe I forgot to do those follow-ups. Oh my gosh, I am a horrible consultant. How many times have I told myself that? I don't even know. Thousands of times I have told myself that. Is it true? No. I was having a bad day, or it was a bad week, or maybe it was just a whole bad month, right? But if I can be intentional on what I'm doing and at the same time taking care of me, then I'm going to be the healthiest person I can be for my business, for my team, and for those who I'm going to be bringing into my team. Again, leading from the front. I will tell you that the more open you are with your team, with your Scentsy family, maybe that's your sponsor, your upline, this group here, right? Your accountability people, those people that you lean on in Scentsy, you will find that those are the people that are going to understand the most, right? So lean into your people when you need to. Take the time when you need to. I have also learned that in the chaos of everything, that I have to actually schedule Jacqui time. I schedule time for that Netflix schedule. You can bet your bottom dollar I scheduled time. I booked this weekend. Literally, I was like, all right, I got to get this, and this done for my business this week, right? I also had to like record 2 trainings and I was going to do all these things, right? I was like, okay. I spent like an hour and a half doing everything because I wanted to take some time for me and sit on that couch and watch quarterback. Is that selfish? No, because I need to take time for me, right? I need a little mental break every so often. But just like I do with the kids, right? Got to do your chores and then you can have your fun time. I had to do my business. I made a personal choice to be intentional with my time, to get those things done so I could enjoy that time. Take your business as far as you want to take it. Because here's the thing, you guys, the sky is the limit with this business. There is no cap on how much you can earn. There is no cap on how many people you can sponsor. There is no cap on anything in this business. What you need to do is decide, what do you want your business to look like? So as you are looking back through this program, as you are setting that 90-day goal, right? So I want you to start as you're working your way through that 90-day goal, that 90-day action plan that you're going to put into place with those actionable items. I want you to look ahead and I want you to visualize what your business looks like. A lot of people will do a dream board. And you can do that on Canva. You can do that on any app. You can do, you know, I don't know. There's probably 100 different apps that you could do it on. Canva is just one that I like to do it on. Create yourself a dream board. What does your paycheck look like? What does your team look like? How successful is your business? How is it helping you and your family, or how is it serving the why of your business? And really visualize those things, because if you keep that visualization there, and that's why there is such power in that visualization of putting those things like on a dream board or creating it in Canva, right? I actually create mine and I will put it as my wallpaper on my phone because I know I'm going to look at that every single day, right? Okay. But having those visual reminders are what is going to actually keep you being intentional. Because myself, your sponsor, your upline, all of the SSDs in this program, everybody can sit here and want you to have the most successful business in the next 90 days. I can want it for you all day long. And I do want it for every single one of you. But I can't get you to that point, right? You have to take those steps. You have to take the action items and you have to actually put action into them to get there. You will be surprised if you stay focused, if you stay intentional, and if you stay consistent, you will amaze yourself at where you will be in November. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I am so happy that I got to be a part of this program with you guys. Remember, if you have questions, you can reach out. I'm going to check the chat real quick before I hop off to just make sure I didn't miss anything there. Thank you, Becky, for putting that out there with the theme of the week. Thank you. The workbook, okay, the workbook, Crystal, we will get that out. Yes. See, you have friends. You have friends. Phone a friend. That's what you do. You have friends with Scentsy. That's how it works. Thank you guys so much. All right, I think we got all the questions. If I did miss anything, I promise I will go back. We will get that answered. I am going to get this recording up. So for the ones who couldn't join us tonight, that way they will have the opportunity to do that. So this will be located in the week 7 guide in case you're looking for it or somebody asks you. Be that friend for the phone of friends. And yes, for those of you who will be at SFR, I will see you very soon next week, you guys. I'm so excited. All right. Love you all. Have a great night and happy dreaming.